I have 15 million in the account. Yes, so for this.
I took in those and sell these to convert to cash. Well, here in total, there are almost 400 square meters warehouse. And here, 1,200 square meters for 15 million plus VAT. Well, that's nothing.
A Ukrainian military intelligence drone hit a multifunctional vessel of the Russian Black Sea Fleet off Novorossiysk, inflicting costly damage, the agency reported. The Project MPSV-07 ship was tracked and hit while carrying out reconnaissance and patrolling Novorossiysk Bay near Russia's Krasnodar Krai, where the Black Sea Fleet is currently based, according to HUR. The agency released black and white footage of a domestically produced aerial drone hitting the ship's bridge. As a result of the strike, the Russian vessel's electronic intelligence systems were destroyed, and the ship was disabled and sent for costly repairs, HUR said in its statement. The targeted ship, with an estimated price tag of $60 million, was commissioned in 2015, HUR said without naming the vessel. While the Ukrainian agency says that Russia has 4 vessels of this class, open sources list 5 operational Project MPSV-07 multifunctional salvage ships, with the 6th one under construction. One of them is Spasatel Demidov, delivered in 2015 and registered at the port of Novorossiysk. According to Marine Tracking Services, its last known position was received 77 days ago, just north of the Russian Kola Peninsula in the Barents Sea. A HUR spokesperson told the Kyiv Independent that the name of the targeted vessel is being determined. The Project MPSV-07 is equipped with diving systems, remotely operated vehicles, a side-scan sonar, and electronic intelligence equipment. Its output is 4 megawatts, and it can be used for seabed inspection, according to HUR. Recent weeks saw HUR special forces ramp up attacks against Russian military assets in the Black Sea region, including occupied Crimea. Most recently, 2 radar stations belonging to Russia's air defense system were hit on the peninsula, the agency reported. Using drone and missile attacks, Ukraine has allegedly destroyed or disabled 1/3 of the Russian Black Sea Fleet during the full-scale war, including the Caesar Kunikov landing ship, the Sergei Kotov patrol ship, the Ivanovets missile corvette, and multiple high-speed landing crafts. The 77th Separate Airmobile Brigade continues to take out Russian forces on the Kupansk axis. Shelters, drones, antennas, Starlinks, motorcycles, vehicles, and ammo depot and personnel were all targeted by brigade pilots. The 77th Separate Airmobile Brigade is one of Ukraine's newer but already well-respected airborne assault units, created as part of Kyiv's rapid expansion of its elite air assault forces during the full-scale war. Its soldiers are trained to operate flexibly, often combining infantry tactics with drone warfare and precision strikes to dismantle Russian positions. On the Kupiansk axis, the terrain of forests, rivers, and small villages creates a complex battlefield where mobility and surprise are decisive. This sector is critical for both sides. Russia aims to push westward to destabilize Ukrainian defenses, while Ukraine uses highly mobile brigades like the 77th to blunt assaults and keep Russian troops under constant pressure. The brigade's adaptability and precision make it a key factor in denying Russia breakthroughs in this volatile region. Disgraced Russian war blogger Roman Alekin, who has been accused of fraud and money laundering, says that he is being set up by unknown parties and has pleaded his innocence despite a seemingly damning video showing him discussing embezzlement of aid donations. Alekin was caught on video discussing how to divert $600,000 of a $2.4 million donation and boasting of his own importance and connections with the Russian military. The story has been covered widely in the Russian media. Alekin now says that the video was recorded without his knowledge during a meeting in Kursk on the 1st of July with representatives of a businessman who wanted to make a large donation to humanitarian aid collections for Russia's frontline troops in Ukraine. The video was first published by the 112 Telegram channel, which appears to have close connections with the Russian security forces and is often the first to publish videos of interrogations and detentions. State-owned media channels subsequently publicized the video. Alekin says that his volunteers received a call from representatives of businessman Alexander Galitsky, who is providing powerful assistance to the front. They asked if they could make the donation through Alekin's Blagodateli Foundation, his vehicle for fundraising. At the same time, he says, the representatives proposed to transfer 100 million rubles, $1.17 million, per month through the foundation, with two-thirds of it being spent on medical equipment purchased through Galitsky's companies at below-market prices. The remaining third would be used at the foundation's initiative to purchase radios or other equipment for the army. Alekin says that he was told that he would receive 10% less goods than were stated in the documents. He claims that he thought that this was intended to allow the entrepreneur to write off part of the goods from his company, and did not think that they were trying to cheat him. He says that he was working out ways to formalize the scheme, but was unsure of its legality. Whoever wants to help the army is welcome. And how they will personally formalize the schemes, I don't care, he says. He claims that he was not intending to keep any of the donations for himself, but was thinking only of the army. According to Alekin, the representatives also contacted other volunteer fundraisers to discuss the scheme. The war blogger 2 Majors has said that other fundraisers were contacted but harshly rebuffed the approach. He says that after the 112 channel published its story, Izvestia journalists burst into his office to demand an explanation. He claims that he could not imagine that the interest in the fund was fake. Alekin denies any wrongdoing on his part and claims, "It is already clear that Alexander is not who he claims to be, and that he has nothing to do with helping the front lines." People like him do not record conversations on hidden cameras and edit them into videos with the intention of exposing something, immediately releasing them across a network of channels that the volunteer community finds so distasteful. But now that you have read this text in addition to watching the edited video, do you understand how it works? When the goal is to discredit someone, the video is edited in such a way as to evoke an emotion that no one will bother to rationalize. After all, it is much easier to generate clickbait headlines that another military correspondent in the video agrees to grab 50 million intended for aid to the special military operation, while he has not yet been arrested. The Russian news agency, TASS, reports that according to law enforcement sources, an investigation is being conducted against Alekin in connection with possible fraud in aid to SVO fighters. The Kursk Region Department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs has told RBC that an investigation has been launched into the claims against Alekin and, based on the results, a decision will be made in accordance with the procedure established by law. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance stated that the Trump administration does not seek to economically isolate Russia. He confirmed Washington views cooperation with Russia as one possible path to ending the war, adding, "President Trump sees no reason for economic isolation of Russia."
Sources have told me that Russian President Vladimir Putin has suggested that sanctions relief could result in Russia moving more of their energy commodities in the U.S. dollar, functionally giving Russia and the United States a lot of control over U.S. energy markets. That could lower energy costs for Americans. Do you see economic cooperation with Russia as one of the things that could bring an end to some of the hostilities that we want to see concluded?
Yeah, Matt, absolutely. And it's one of the carrots that we've thrown out there. And the president's been very open with both the Europeans and the Russians that he doesn't see any reason why we should economically isolate Russia except for the continuation of the conflict. He wants the killing to stop. And then on the other side of peace, he's very open to a whole host of economic arrangements that are beneficial to the United States of America. I mean, let's be honest, whether you like or dislike Russia, whether you agree or disagree with their underlying arguments for the conflict, the simple fact is they've got a lot of oil, they've got a lot of gas, they've got a lot of mineral wealth, And I think the president is absolutely right that once we get this peace settled, we could have a very productive economic relationship with both Russia and Ukraine in the future. And frankly, Matt, if we had a better relationship economically in Eastern Europe, in that region of the world, it might actually be the best guarantee of a long-term peace, because once you've got good economic relationships with people, you don't want to blow that stuff up quite literally by restarting a war. So it's interesting, Matt, the president is very much on this wavelength. Let's get the peace. Let's create some economic cooperation between Russia, Ukraine, and the United States of America, and let's set the table for a long-term durable peace. What we had in the last administration, Matt, as you know well, I mean, we were talking about this stuff when we were both on Capitol Hill, is that Biden just wanted to funnel more and more money into Ukraine. He wanted to give more and more weapons, more and more of America's wealth. There was no plan and no real effort to engage in diplomacy to try to bring this thing to a close. The president recognizes it's not easy, recognizes that sometimes, the Russians and the Ukrainians obviously don't see eye to eye, but we've got an opportunity, we think, to bring an end to the conflict and to actually create some real prosperity on the other side of a peace. We're going to keep on working at it. Again, I don't know how long it's going to take, Matt, but I guarantee eventually some sort of peaceful settlement is going to come out of this war. It's just killing way too many people. And I think in their heart of hearts, both the Russians and the Ukrainians are exhausted with the fighting.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.